Hi there everyone, I'm Kaven. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have another little Halloween card that I'm going to make. It's very cute. It's got a little ghost, a scarecrow, pumpkin and some bats. Quite simple, but very effective. I call them tunnel cards, but I'm not sure whether they should be tunnel cards or pop-up cards. I'm going to take this one apart and just show you the different layers and give you a bit of insight as to how I'm going to cut these. So this little card has 5 layers. Now the layers are the ones with the tabs on them, these tabs that you can see on the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the back layer, and this one here is the front layer. They don't have tabs on them, so they're very easy to distinguish from the rest of them. It's also easy to tell which order they go in because, as you can probably notice, the opening in the centre gets progressively smaller as the card moves towards the back. This isn't technically an opening, it's a cutout for the moon. Let's zoom in a little bit again. This one here is the front, and I'm going to cut it on the intricate cuts setting. Because of these little thorns and also because of the writing that I'm going to be cutting out, I've done this in stencil, so it should show up nicely. And I'm pretty sure that I'll cut it through twice, which will give it 4 cuts, just to make sure that all the little bits and pieces come out nice and neatly. The back won't need anything, just a normal medium cardstock setting. I always like to give it a little bit of extra force, extra pressure. This one here is fairly straightforward. Because of the little face on the pumpkin, I'll probably use the intricate cuts setting once again. Same for this one, mostly straightforward, but it has got a few little tiny bits that need cutting out on the ghost. So I'm going to use the intricate cuts setting once again. This one I'm definitely going to use the intricate cuts setting. You can see why. Tiny little facial features and these raggedy robes that the Scarecrow's wearing. This one also definitely an intricate cuts. Probably because mostly of these little branches that have got little knobbly bits on them, I want them to come out nice and cleanly. And this last one should just be a normal medium cardstock, cut with extra pressure. So there shouldn't be too much difficulty with any of these. So I'm going to go to Cricut now and cut out all the different layers. And then I'm going to come back to my table and show you how to assemble this little card. Don't go away. So here are my cut files. I'm really happy with the way they worked out. I'll show you the layers. This is the front. It will show up better because I'm going to back the words with something bright. I cut this one on the intricate cuts setting with extra pressure, and it cut the very fine details. As you can see here in the stencil lines, cut them out perfectly. So that was the best way to go with that one, and I did run it through twice. This one here, I just cut through on medium cardstock setting with extra pressure. Even though it had these tiny little bits here, it cut through perfectly. Same with the white one and the little ghost. I was going to put it on intricate cuts, but I just cut it through with the medium cardstock setting with extra pressure, and it did it fine. Now I did cut this one on the intricate cuts setting, and I did put it through twice. I was a bit worried about these tiny little bits like the little stem on the top of his head, his eyes and his nose, and these little bits of fabric. But they did cut out beautifully. This one also, I put this one on the intricate cuts setting. These are very fine little details, and they cut out beautifully. This this one I ended up cutting on the glitter cardstock setting because I decided to use a red glitter just to give it a little bit of bling. And this one, I simply cut this one on the medium cardstock setting. That's the back piece. So that's all of my pieces now, and I'm going to put them together. To assemble them, it's a really good idea to put them in the correct order. That way you don't get confused. I'm going to take away the front piece and the back piece. That's the two pieces without tabs, and put them to one side just for now. And it's the 5 coloured layers, the ones with the tabs, that I'm going to be using right now. You'll notice on the sides that one of the gaps is bigger than the other gap. Now the way up, the correct way to the top, the smaller gap between the edge and the cuts, that goes to the top. The larger space goes to the bottom. And that way they will perfectly fit into, if I can grab it, tricky little things, the tabs will perfectly fit into the little holes. I'll score the first one and show you how to do it, and then I'll speed you up for the others. Now I have to score between the pointy bit there and the pointy bit down here. Here and here, here and here, here and here. That's what makes the tabs that we're going to glue. Put them aside just for the moment. I'm simply going to line the pointy bits up on my mat. And score them with my scoring tool. I like to use my scoring tool rather than to have them scored on Cricut because I can put more pressure onto this. Once you've done the tabs, it's simply a matter of folding them up like so. I'll do the rest now. The sides have now been scored and we're ready to start putting the 5 layers into the tabs. Now remember, the right way up is the one with the least space at the top of the 2 sides. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that I like to use a little bit of tape just to hold the tabs in until we get it all glued. And then at the end we can remove the tape. I have some already cut here. All right, take the first side and the first layer. Now they very simply slot into the first cut in the side, just like that. And that. Make sure that they line up. Turn it to the back. And I put a little bit of tape just to hold it in for now. This is a low tack tape, so it's going to come off easily. And it will stop that frustration when the tabs keep falling out. Inside, same again. It goes into the top slot, onto the second side. Make sure everything is even. That's what it's going to look like. Turn it over to the back. And put a little bit of tape on the tab. So there's the first piece done. And the rest are all going to be done exactly the same way. So this time I'm going to lay it down and it's upside down. I'm going to take the next layer, turn it upside down and around the other way, and it's going to go into the next slot, just like that. Make sure that it's nice and even. Turn it over. And I think I've just got 2 more bits of sticky tape here for this one. One. Two. Now you continue on like this until you get all 5 of the layers on. So I'm going to speed you up a bit now while I do the rest of them. And there we go. All of the layers are on now. Tiny little bit of sticky tape's just holding them in place. So now it's time to actually put the back and the front on. I'll start with the back. I like to usually start with the back. No particular reason, just because I do. The back is going to be glued on to this tab here and this tab over here. So it's going to go like this and then on top of the other tab. Let's put a little bit of glue on. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. Match the edge of the back up to the fold of the tab, and also make sure that it's nice and even at the bottom. Let it dry sufficiently before you try the other side. When you think it's dry enough, you can gently bend it over in the opposite direction. Make sure it doesn't move. And this time, we're going to be gluing it down to this tab here. Just gently let it fall over in place and wait a few moments until you think it's dry enough to move. Now we're on the front, and the front is going to be glued on in exactly the same way. However, before we glue the front, I want to put some colour behind the stenciled letters. In order to do this, I'm going to use some of these really bright little origami squares that I've got here. I'm thinking maybe this would be a nice colour. It's a silvery pinky sort of a colour. So all I'm going to do is cut out a little square big enough to cover all the letters and glue them on at the back. Looks much prettier like that. And now we're ready to put the front piece on. And it's just going to be glued to the 2 tabs, this one and this one, like the piece on the back was. Now when you think it's all nicely dry, you can move it around a little bit. See how it's folding? One of the things I love about these cards is that they fold flat for postage, which doesn't cost nearly as much as posting a 3D shadow box. That can be very expensive. Now the only thing we have to do now is to take the sticky tape off the little tabs. I'm just going to use an ordinary pair of tweezers to do that. So now all the sticky tape has been removed, and the little pop-up Halloween box or tunnel card, pop-up tunnel card, is finished. You can see all the layers there. You can see right down deep into the card. The sides are lovely and neat. Now on the back, this is where I often like to put something that can take a message. So you can make something in the shape of a ghost like I've done before, or anything that you like, or you can actually use your pen and Cricut to write a message. So something that says Happy Halloween, or, you know, to somebody, from somebody. Perfect place to write your little message there. So that's my latest little Halloween pop-up tunnel card, all finished now. I really hope that you enjoy making this as much as I enjoyed making it. Don't forget, you'll find my cutting files, both SVG and PNG, for sale at my Etsy shop, papercutpanache.etsy.com. You'll also find the physical item, this particular little tunnel card, on sale in my shop as well. So thank you very much for joining me in my video today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with another video shortly. Bye for now.